The neighborhood of Willow Creek had always looked peaceful from the outside, trimmed lawns, identical mailboxes, quiet evenings. But beneath the surface, long-term discrimination had been shaping daily life for years, and it all finally erupted during one HOA meeting that no one would forget. For nearly a decade, certain families felt the rules were written only for them. Fines appeared overnight for minor issues, while others ignored the same violations without consequence. Repair requests from a few homes sat unanswered for months, even years, while favored residents received upgrades within weeks. At first, people stayed quiet, afraid of retaliation or being labeled difficult. Silence became a habit, and resentment grew slowly, like a crack spreading through concrete. The breaking point came when the HOA announced a new policy, limiting home-based businesses and outdoor gatherings. On paper, it applied to everyone. In practice, enforcement began immediately against the same group that had always been targeted. Work-from-home families were threatened with penalties. Cultural celebrations were suddenly deemed disturbances. Meanwhile, similar activities elsewhere in the neighborhood went unnoticed. At the next HOA meeting, frustration overflowed. One resident stood up, voice shaking, and listed years of selective enforcement, ignored complaints and biased treatment. Another followed, then another. Stories poured out about children being harassed by security, about emergency repairs denied, about warning letters sent without explanation. The room grew tense as the board tried to interrupt, insisting they were just following the rules. That excuse only made things worse. Documents were passed around showing inconsistencies, dates, fines, approvals that didn't match. Neighbors who had once stayed neutral began to realize how unevenly power had been used. Trust collapsed in real time. Accusations flew, voices rose, and long-buried anger finally found words. By the end of the night, the neighborhood was split. Some demanded the board resign immediately. Others walked out in silence, realizing they had benefited from a system that hurt their neighbors. What once felt like a unified community now felt fractured beyond easy repair. In the weeks that followed, friendships faded, and common spaces felt colder. Legal complaints were filed, meetings turned hostile. Yet for many, there was also a sense of relief. The discrimination was no longer invisible. The truth had surfaced, even if it shattered the illusion of harmony. Willow Creek didn't fall apart because people spoke up. It broke because unfairness had been allowed to last too long.